Welcome to But I'm a Lesbian, the podcast where we serve all baddie sass, queer film reviews, and everything in between. Whether you're a baby gay
or a queer elder, we're here, we're queer, and we're diving deep into all things lesbian. We're your hosts, Katlynn
and Angelina.
Get ready for some sapphic serotonin. So today's episode is about the second in Ethan Coen and Trisha Cook's lesbian B movie trilogy. Is that enough quotes? Honey, don't. This movie, once again, features Margaret Qualley playing a lesbian. Angelina, will you share your thoughts on straight people playing gay and also cis people playing trans?
That is really hard because I feel like there are a lot of instances where straight people can portray LGBTQ plus characters correctly.
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah. Okay, that's not okay. Yes, that is true. But there are also some parts where it is very stereotypical. The movie's just not well done, and it's adding more insults, especially when that person, the role could have been taken by somebody that's part of the LGBTQ plus community, but they just go to someone that's like famous, you know?
Yeah.
And then they end up not doing a good job. That's the biggest insult. If you don't do a good job, it's like, why do you even want this role?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I think we're going to talk about this movie at some point, and I might have a different opinion because I only watched it when it first came out. But Jenny's Wedding with Katherine Heigl,
yeah.
I feel like she didn't do a good job playing a gay.
Yeah.
But also, I think the movie was not written very well. So
they're
it might not
you can be a lesbian,
fault.
but you don't have to do anything with a woman.
Yeah,
just say you're a lesbian.
It was the straightest lesbian movie ever.
Literally.
It was weird. But yeah, I think that I have more of an issue when it's like cis people playing trans people.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it comes off as like, it depends, I guess, on the acting and the writing and the direction and all of that.
Yeah.
And the person. But sometimes it comes off as like, kind of like making fun of the trans person. Like, oh, we're going to put this like really traditionally masculine sounding looking man and have him be a trans woman instead of casting an actual trans woman. And then it almost feels like, are they doing this for some sort of like a shock value? Like I remember when, what was that movie?
Are you talking about the one with Jared Leto?
Yes!
Dallas Buyers Club or something?
Yes, because Matthew McConaughey was like, he had AIDS. But he wasn't gay. Or was he gay? Was he bi?
No, was it Jared Leto?
That was no. The main character was Matthew McConaughey, and he had AIDS.
Yeah.
But his friend, I think he was friends with Jared Leto. And he played a trans woman. And it's like there are a lot. And it also depends on the time period because this was maybe like 10 years ago. Maybe there were less trans actresses to choose from. But at the same time, I feel like there weren't. Like, there is this really, I mean, multiple good trans actresses. But the one I'm thinking of that was in Transparent, I think was the show. And that was a show that got a lot of critique because the main character was a cis man playing a trans woman. And he ended up getting like allegations that he was really creepy.
Who was it? I don't think I've heard of that show.
He was old. He had like gross crooked bottom teeth.
That could be any man.
I know. He was white.
That literally is even worse, balding.
Actually. I don't know. But anyway, there was this actress on there that played a trans person, and she is a trans person, and her name is Trace Lysette.
Okay.
She is so beautiful. But she's an actress that I think of where I'm like, okay, she's been acting like in Hollywood for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like they could have cast her in something like that. And I also think of, what is the girl that was on Sense8 and then she was in that Real L Word? Is her name Jamie something? Jamie Clayton?
Yes.
Something like that?
Jamie something. I don't want to say her last name's Clayton because I don't remember, but I think it's Jamie.
Yeah, okay. Like she's been acting for like quite a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes it feels weird. I also feel like it feels weird when someone, I don't know, it depends because I feel okay with Natasha Lyonne continuously playing gay.
Because she does a good job.
She does a good job, and I feel like I'm like very attracted to her as Nikki Nichols in Orange is the New Black. I just thought, why is she so hot?
You're just like, this is perfect.
I was like,
but she's doing a good job, and it feels like, you know, it's a character who just happens to be a lesbian and not like an over the top, like stereotypical character, which a lot of like, again, like they just give it to the famous celebrities and they're just like, well, play a gay character. Yeah. You can do it.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I also think of Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci. I think they are both straight, but they were lesbians in one of my favorite movies that we talked about on here, Monster. Yeah. And I thought they did good. I think the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I was really annoyed that Margaret Qualley is playing a lesbian again. Yeah. But that I don't think she does that good of a job at it, and that she specifically said she used Maddie Healy as her inspiration or like whatever. And
unless she's trying to be like a fuckboy lesbian, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Where she's like,
you could have used Shane. Like, do some
but maybe she liked light Shane.
Lesbian research. Okay, I just feel like
she's just like an
actual lesbian fuckboy. Like, yeah, I thought that was so weird. I was like, this is just giving like the straightest person ever being like, oh yeah,
I can be like gay.
This man. Whatever. Anyway, so it can be good and it can be bad. It depends on the situation. Did you have a hot take or a burning desire for this movie?
I did. My hot take is a spoiler, so if you want to watch this movie, don't listen to my hot take. Yeah, like skip over to Katlynn's unless hers is a spoiler too. But I would say that I did not like that MJ turned out to be the bad guy, because I do like Aubrey Plaza and I think she was hot in this movie, but she's also like crazy in this movie. So I was a little disappointed that it turned out she was the bad guy, because, you know.
I wrote like 7 hot takes on here, but I'm not going to tell all of them, but that is one of them. And my specific take was, are they trying to say that butch or masculine of center women are violent? Because I don't like that she was specifically like supposed to be this like butch cop character. Yeah. And then she was like a killer. And I don't know, there's other things that I thought were interesting in this that kind of seemed a little bit racist with like some of the kills with the Latino.
Are you talking about Hector and his grandma? Yeah, that was awful.
I thought some of the things were really kind of weird, and I don't know. Maybe I'm going over my head and I don't understand camp and B movies, but I don't think so. I think that this was actually
I think bad. I know camp.
I think I know camp.
I'm an expert at camp.
Yeah. I don't like this. So, but you know, a hot take that's not that hot that I did write down is, I love the like tall femme, shorter mask vibe when like, because it reflects my life. But like when they had like the like first like sex scene or whatever, like after they got home, I was like, oh, why is this so hot? Because like Margaret was all like tall, and then and then MG was like shorter, but was like kind of like dominating her. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe
you're like, I like this. I don't know why.
So that was like my one positive take on this.
This is her only
positive.
The
only positive thing.
Yes.
Anywho, so we'll take a quick break right now. And when we get back, we'll get into the recap. So refill your emotional support water bottle because you're going to need it for this weird and wild ride. Welcome back to But I'm a Lesbian. This week, we're discussing Honey Don't.
Yes. So this movie is interesting. So it starts with this woman who we later find out is a French woman. I forgot
it started with that.
I know. I always want to just like skip to the end, but there's a woman. She sees the car crash and then she's like, let me go take a dip in the river because evidence. So we get that she's obviously not a cop or anybody. And this is also not Honey. So she goes, and on her, oh my God, it's her like little scooter.
Oh yeah, like a moped thing.
Yeah, so she takes off on that after she's just like, oh my God,
it's so
a car crash. Yeah, she's like, a dead woman. I gotta go take a dip in the river, which I'm like, okay, you don't even know. This is supposed to be Bakersfield and you're dipping yourself in the river. I wouldn't do that here. I wouldn't do like anywhere.
That's probably really gross water.
Yeah, it's just like like it's just, you don't know it. I mean, there's no sign. I don't know. It's just weird water. I don't know why she would do that. But anyway,
it's like a B movie.
I just don't get it.
Too much into it.
So then we see Honey, and she's in bed with a woman, and the woman's like, oh my God, that was great. And Honey's just like, she got a call, so she has to leave. And she's like, the door, lock it on the way out. Like, don't be here when I get back, because I guess, yeah, basically like, bye.
Yeah.
Because she's supposed to be like, non-committed, she's just like.
Similar to her character in the other movie, but
like, I guess a more femme version, sort of. Yeah, no accent, but sort of an accent. And
vague Southern accent, even though she's supposed to be from Bakersfield.
Which I don't get. Okay.
It's kind of like, I think they're making fun of Bakersfield being like, it's in California and it's close to LA, but it's kind of like country.
So they're just like, we don't know what you are.
Give a Southern accent.
Do a little Southern thing with it.
Yeah.
So then she goes to the car crash scene that we saw earlier where the French woman was investigating. And here's an annoying detective man, but he's also Charlie Day. He's a funny actor. So, but he plays an annoying man in this one.
Oh, he does. But he's really cool because he has my same birthday.
Oh, really?
So not only is he an Aquarius, which makes him
You're
cool,
like, we're twins!
but he's a February 9th Aquarius, which means he's extra cool.
Okay, so he gets a pass, but not for this movie.
No, not this character.
So he's there to investigate the car crash scene, and Honey's like, oh, let me take a look. And he's like, is this client one of yours? Or is this lady one of your clients? And she's like, nope. And then he asks her out, and she's like, I told you already, Marty, I like girls. And he's just like, oh my God, you always say that. Like, you're so funny.
So weird.
Yeah, he's like, that's hilarious. Do you want to go out? And she's just like, oh my God, So she tells her secretary about the car crash, and she's like, the lady wasn't a client. Her name is Mia, but she did reach out to her before she died because she said that she needed help and that she was scared. So she's like, this is really strange, car crash, and it seems to be very sketchy. So also, Billy Eichner guest appearance for her clients, which if you don't know, Billy on the street. Let's go, lesbians.
I was just going to say, let's go, lesbians.
Yeah. I had to show Yami that because she's like, what do you mean? And then she's like, oh, I've seen that clip. I'm like, yeah. But he's supposed to be Honey's client that wants to know if his boyfriend is cheating on him. And Honey's like, well, if you're here, he most likely is. And he's like, no, I need details. I need to know if who he's doing it with. So she has a case, but she's also like, this is really strange about Mia, so I should probably investigate. Mm-hmm. But she goes over to her sister Heidi's house with her many kids. I want to say she had the small one, she had Corinne, she had two other ones, and then she was pregnant with one. So maybe 4 to 5 kids.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a hater, but that's too many kids.
That is so many kids, and they're just running around, and the little one wants to marry Honey, and she's like, no, it's illegal, we can't, no, it's weird. And then he's just like,
we're related.
Yeah. She's like, no, and the little kid and is like, but why not? We can break the law. But I'm also like, okay. Anyway, so yeah, I guess making fun of, the typical. And so Corinne goes off with her boyfriend, and the mom, as you can see, has no control. And Honey's just like, she's overwhelmed. And she's a single mother too at that. And Honey's just like, oh my God. And she's like, don't say anything. She's like, I'm not going to say anything, but clearly there needs to be some more parental guidance there. So after Honey goes to her contact, MG, which is Aubrey Plaza. Yes. And she's just like, talking to her, asking for Mia's parents' address. And so she goes to the parents' house and their country, full on country. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, I'm here because your daughter was going to hire me. I'm a PI and they're just so shocked because they're like, one of us hiring you? Like, that's weird. We'd never do that. And so they talk to her. They have no idea why their daughter would do that. She asks to see the bedroom and she pulls out a gown, which obviously she's going to church, but then there's like a little like BDSM gear thing that falls out. And she's just like, huh. And their parents are just like, yeah, she started going to church, but we don't really know what church. And then we see Chris Evans playing a sleazy reverend, Drew, and he's like having sex, this weird sex scene with this woman that he wants to like have her hold the mirror and so he can like see him fucking her. But he's saying that it's like bringing them closer to God, which is so weird. Yeah. But we now we know that that's the church that Mia was going to. And he's also pretty corrupt. He smuggles drugs and obviously his church doesn't know. And he likes to have sex with all the members that are women there. Yeah. So.
Creepy weirdo.
Yeah, which is on pretty, spot on for people that are Christian. Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to alienate anybody. But,
It's okay.
So Hector, which is one of Drew's guys, is like obviously selling drugs. And there's a guy that's like trying to buy the drugs. And he's like, I have like a tab. But Hector's like, well, no, they said you didn't pay the tab. So you need to pay this time. And he's like, well, I don't have money and I'm supposed to go to this party. So can I just get the drugs and then I'll pay you next time? And Hector's like, not really. And he's just like, okay, how about you give me the drugs and I'll suck your dick? And Hector's like, no. And so they end up fighting and Hector is like frantic and runs him over. And which is like, it escalated pretty quickly.
Doesn't he run him over twice?
Yes. But he's like trying to get away and he goes over once and then he's like, oh my God. And he goes back and then he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, he's really dead at this point. Like, he just punched him at first. And I'm like, but then he's just like, oh my God, like, is he dead? So then we find out that is Billy Eichner. I think his name is Mr. Siegfried in this movie, but they never gave his first name. She just says like Mr.
I don't even
whatever.
remember.
Yeah, but Billy Eichner is like crying because his boyfriend's dead. And we find out that's the guy that Hector killed. And
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And so he was cheating. I mean, obviously he was, but he was also one of, his he's not really a good person, but he died and that's still sad. And, Honey's just like, okay, anyways, I'm done with this. I've gotten nowhere on any of these leads. And so she's like, get me MG's, I think I said MJ earlier. Sorry, not MJ.
Michael
MG.
Jackson.
Yeah, get me MJ's number. And so she's like, get me her number. And she meets up with her at this bar. And here's a very crazy scene. They're sitting down, they're talking, and immediately Aubrey Plaza, MG, starts fingering. She starts fingering Honey in this very public bar with like all these people around, and they're just like having a conversation, but they're like tying it together with her being fingered, and Honey's just like, oh my God, and the bartender's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, she's just like, wow. And so something about like knitting and then like crocheting, and it's just so weird. And I'm like, why are you doing this in public? But also MG's a cop, but she doesn't really care. She's in her uniform.
I know. That's the other thing where I'm like, am I being a prude? But also I'm literally like, I feel like it's scary because there's so many like men there.
I wouldn't want to do that in front of like other
different
people. Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to yuck people's yum. Like, I understand that people are
voyeurism,
and there are some people that are voyeurs, but I just feel like, especially in like a small town like Bakersfield, that they're making a point is like kind of like country. Yeah. It seems really risky to do anything gay. Like, I wouldn't even be making out like in the last episode, the people making out in Florida. Like, I would be uncomfortable to do that there. Yeah. Because I would be afraid that men would try to like involve themselves.
And, you can see it's clearly nothing but men.
There have been times when I used to go out and dance like back in the day, which question, do Gen Z really not dance at the bars? Or is that just something people say on TikTok?
Some places, yes, they do dance. Other places, no. It's really like some dancing like for 5 minutes or like, and then the rest are just like hanging out talking, or they're like, you know.
But you're all wearing comfortable shoes, so it seems like you would be dancing more than millennials because we were all wearing heels and we were dancing.
Okay, that's the thing. Like the places that I've been to, they have been dancing, and I'm like dancing because I'm like, yay, you know, like, oh my God, we're dancing. But then it gets so crowded and it gets so annoying that people are literally like all over you, and I hate that. And then I'm just like, I want to go over here, and then I'm just dancing off in this corner all weird, and then like the drunkenness wears off, and then I'm like sober dancing, which is fun too. But obviously then it's like a weird side off area, and everyone's just like talking and like, you know, they're doing their thing, and so I mean, there is truth to that. There is truth to that.
I don't know.
Bring back dancing.
I know. I love dancing, but I was gonna say also, like, me backing up why I would be afraid to be doing gay sex in public in a bar, or even to be making out in public in a bar is like, I've been drunk when we would go to bars and dance, and I would be trying to make out with or we would be making out, and men were always being super creepy. Like they would try to get involved, or they would be like, oh, like, what, are you gonna grab her boobs neck? Like that type of like weird stuff. Like they involve themselves. So I feel like it's like,
it's weird to be doing
ruin
that.
Everything. I wouldn't, men shouldn't be around if men shouldn't be near you when you're having lesbian
be
sex.
Around
Just get out.
And also it's very quick what happens. Like she literally sits down and then they just automatically know like they're gonna fuck. But she's just like, let's start it right here, right now.
Yeah. So
in this bar.
Is that the first time they met, or did they know each other kind of before? Because I was confused.
So that's her contact at the police department. So I'm guessing they have met, but maybe they've never had sex before, because then she's like, oh, I don't have her personal number. So let me get her personal number. And obviously MG, maybe there's not a lot of lesbian women in Bakersfield, obviously knows Honey because she's like very vocal about being a lesbian. So she's like, yeah, we're gonna have sex, you know.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen right here in this bar. Obviously. So she tells the bartender like, okay, no, we're about ready to leave. And then there's that sex scene that you were talking about. They go back to Honey's place. And I did like that too. I was like, oh, how nice. Okay, they're doing that. I'm like, finally they moved somewhere private, I guess.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched like not a very clear version of this.
Okay.
Is this the scene where they made such a big deal about the coconut oil?
What?
Okay. I kept seeing on TikTok people talking about like this interview that they did, how like they had to like make sure that like, so that her fingers would look wet. Like that Aubrey Plaza kept dipping her fingers in like coconut oil out of the scene. Did they like show that in this scene? Because I couldn't see it from the way that I was watching it. But I was like, where is the scene where we're supposed to see like coconut oil wet fingers? Or was that the bar scene? Because she did like lick her fingers or suck her fingers at the bar. So maybe that's what that was.
Okay, maybe
I don't know. Sorry, I'm bringing that up. But I was like, I was like watching. I was like, oh, when is this thing that people kept talking about? But the version I saw was not super like HD. So it was like, I don't know if I missed things.
Okay.
I did see like a lot of anal bead stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of anal beads. That's what I'm like trying to think back, because they're making out and then they go to the bed, and then obviously MG starts going down on Honey, and Honey's just like, oh my God, well, obviously. She's like, well, then she's just like, oh my gosh. And then she like tries to turn it on to MG, and then she gets handcuffs. Like all I see is her reach for the handcuffs. And then there's that part where, I don't remember any like fingers that were like glistening.
I don't know. Maybe so it was a very light amount of coconut oil. I don't know. Maybe. I just remember this specifically. People kept talking about this interview where they were like, you know, originally I think that the sex scenes were like not supposed to be that graphic, but both Margaret and Aubrey were like, it's fine, we want to do it.
Oh, there was a pierced nipple for Aubrey.
Oh yeah,
there was one
was
pierced
it a
nipple.
Fake pierced nipple?
I don't know if she has that in real life.
Does she actually have that?
I actually don't know. I did not research that, you guys. I'm sorry, but I was just like, oh my God, how cool a pierced nipple.
I feel like I remember that now, but I forgot. Okay. Anyway, I'm so sorry to derail it. I was just like, where is this scene that people were talking about?
You're like, did you remember it? And I am trying to like think back to it, and I don't. But they have sex.
Yeah.
And so then the next day, Honey gets a knock at her door, and it's Corinne, her niece. And Corinne has a black eye. And
she's like the oldest.
She's the oldest
of
one.
the kids. Yeah.
that's, Honey's like, oh my God, what's going on? And Corinne's just like, he didn't mean to. He loves me. He just got upset with me. And obviously, Honey's like, no, I keep telling you, he's older. He's dangerous. He's just not for you. He's literally hitting you,
Yeah.
And then MG comes out and is just like, inserting herself in this conversation. And Honey tells Corinne, like, yeah, she's a cop, And she's like, oh my God, you're not going to report this, are you? And MG's like, no. And basically says, like, people like her never end up reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like says something weird, which I'm like, that's not the right attitude to have as a cop. And also, why didn't Honey say anything like, yeah, you probably should, Corinne.
Yeah.
Don't speak to my niece that way. She's clearly like in a vulnerable state. So
yeah.
I didn't like that scene. But then MG's like, I have to get ready for work, So then Corinne tells Honey, I won't see him again, because Honey's like, if you like, I will have to tell your mom, but I won't tell your mom this time. But I'm going to tell her. And so Corinne's like, I obviously don't want my mom to know, because all she does is yell at me. And so Honey meets with Drew, and obviously he hits on her because he's just like, oh my God, first of all, what's a private investigator doing here? But then one of his like guys is like, oh, she's hot though. And he's like, oh, okay, like send her back. And then
she's hot.
Yeah, like send her back.
Pretty privileged.
That's how she gets back in there. Because at first he's like, what the fuck? Like, what does she want? And then he's just like, I don't know. Do you want me to tell her like fuck off? And he's like, no. But then obviously he lets her back when he finds out that she's hot. And so she's trying to ask questions like, did you know Mia like hired me? Was Mia in trouble? What's going on? And he keeps being really rude and saying like, let's have a drink. And she's like, no. And he's like, let's go out. Let's go for dinner. And she's like, no. Answer the questions. And so basically he's saying, no, I don't know. Why? She's like, I thought it was just a car crash. Why are you investigating it? And she's just like, because this is really suspicious. So, what's it called? I think I skipped a part here. I definitely did skip a part, because after Hector kills Billy Eichner's boyfriend, Drew is informed of this. And then Drew is like, oh my God, kill him. And the guy's like, the bartender? And he's like, no, kill Hector.
Yeah.
And the guy's really upset about it because he likes Hector, but he's like, all right, I have to kill Hector. And then there's an awful scene where Hector's at home with his grandma, and he's just like, let me go get the laundry outside. And then he like feels like something's off, so he runs in and he sees his grandma literally dead. And he's like, oh my God. And then that guy's like fighting Hector, and it seems like Hector's winning because he shoots him, and there's like a whole scene, and Hector runs out and is literally interrupting Drew's threesome with two other women. And he's like, how could you do that? Like, why did you kill my grandma? And Drew's like, oh my God, put the gun down. Like, it's okay. And then Hector shoots with his eyes closed. But then none of them get shot. And then Drew ends up killing Hector. Yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, like this is ruining my business here.
I know. Yeah. I know. So then I feel like at some point in there, we basically confirmed that what you said, that Drew, Reverend Drew or whatever, is like leading this like drug thing. And so he's like the ringleader of this drug stuff.
Yeah, not a very good person. Yeah. But we don't know if he was seeing me. I mean, we're assuming so because she had that BDSM thing. So we're like, okay,
keep showing that he's fucking all the girls
in the same like getup too. Yeah. And like, I don't know, he's like, it's weird. Like, don't lose each other now. Like, this is bringing us closer to God. And so we assume that maybe he had something to do with Mia because he just killed Hector and Hector's grandma. Well, he ordered for that. So.
Yeah, what'd the grandma do? She didn't
do anything. She did nothing. She was just there.
She was just a sweet old lady.
I know. And I really wanted Hector to survive, but he didn't. Yeah. So then after Honey met with, this was after Honey had met with, or this was before Honey met with Drew, and he hits on her and she's like, ill, no, get out of here. And then she's like, I'd rather go home to my dildo. It doesn't have a creep attached to it. Yeah. And so obviously, there's the dildo
obsession.
Yeah, the dildo obsession. And so then Honey and MG have sex again. And that's the part. Maybe that's the part.
Is that the anal beads?
Yes, that's the anal beads part. Well, the first time she was washing them. But then the second time around, she like kind of pulls them out from MG. And MG's just like, oh my God. And she's like, did you see heaven? And she's like, no, maybe, what did she say? Palmdale?
I don't even remember.
She's like, maybe
That's
something.
So funny.
And then she's like, we'll try to get you to at least Merced next time. I was going to say Modesto, but I'm like, why would
some random city in California.
Yeah. And so then MG basically starts going on a rant about women that cry after having sex. And she's just like, I don't know why they do that. And I don't even want them to explain to me why they do that because their reason would just piss me off. But then she like trauma dumps to Honey about how her dad would like be very violent with her and beat her. And then Honey's like, oh, was he a cop like you? And she's like, no, actually, he was in the military and he died overseas. And then she's like, can we have sex again? Don't worry, I'll leave next time. I'll leave this time. And Honey's like, fuck it, all right. Okay. She's like, sure, I guess so. So they obviously have sex again. And then the next morning, Corinne works at this fast food place and she sees this guy that she says is a homeless guy, but he's like weird because he's staring at her. And so he's like just sitting there with like his coffee, but like staring at her. And she's like, oh my God, that guy like keeps staring at me. And the coworker's like, no, he's just homeless. He's just drinking his coffee. You know, he's just, it's weird, but I mean, he's just a homeless guy. And Corinne's not convinced. So then she gets off of work and it's late at night and she's at the bus stop. And that guy comes over and is just standing near her, like literally a couple feet away. And he's just staring and she's just like, what the fuck? And he's just like, hey. And he's just like, hey there. And she like runs away because she's like, what the fuck?
Didn't he say I love you?
Oh my God. No, he says I love you to Honey.
Oh, no, I thought he said I love you to Corinne at this part.
No, he just says like, hello. He says like, hey there. It was funny
in my mind because I thought he said, I love you. And then she ran away.
No, he says, I love you to Honey.
Oh.
Like when she opens the door because she looks at him. Because then the next morning, Heidi's like, oh my God, Corinne is missing. And Honey's like, like, what the fuck? Like, I told her not to go back there with that boyfriend. And Heidi gets pissed and there's a knock at her door and Honey opens it. And she's like, what the fuck? It's the homeless guy. Man. And he's just like, I love you. And she's like, hold on, I got to call you back, which we now find out is her dad. And she's just like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And he's just like trying to gaslight her into forgiving him for beating Honey and Heidi and the mom. And she's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I must have confused you with beating us with something else because he's just like, I never meant to hurt you.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like,
giving like, look what you made me do type
basically,
of vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to, but.
He's just like, I don't know why I did that, but I'm here now and you're going to regret not like forgiving me, And she's just like, oh my God. And then he mentions that he saw Corinne and she's like, you saw her where? And he's like, I tried to talk to her. And she's like, well, no, duh, she ran away from you because you look creepy and you didn't introduce yourself. You just said like, you literally were staring at her.
Yeah.
So then,
weird.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, why would you not say like, and he also got her name wrong. He called her Karina. And she's like, you mean Corinne, Heidi's daughter? And he's like, oh, yeah. So Honey's like, okay, well, fuck. Let me go searching for her. And she has a suspicion that maybe she must have like gone to Drew's church, Reverend Drew.
Like around the corner from her work or something.
Yeah. And also like maybe she's like, okay, maybe she just needed some guidance or something, or she was feeling really freaked out. And so
like, oh, a safe place would be like this church.
Yeah. So she's like, and plus he's also pretty shady and he's like, she thinks he's responsible at least for Mia's death and he's a weirdo. But, she first goes over to Corinne's boyfriend's trailer and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then
he deserved it.
He did deserve it because he beat her. So, but she's just like, have you seen Corinne? And he's like, no, I haven't. Since the last time you beat her. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time.
Yeah, that was actually, now that I think about it. And so then she's like, oh, fuck. And she's searching and she cannot find her because she's like, oh my God. But then she decides to go over to MG's house and is like, maybe MG can help me because she's a cop and, why would she not be able to not help me? So MG's house is really weird. It's like really like, it's like older and it looks like nothing has been changed.
Yeah, it looked like have you seen Pearl?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, it looked like the house like in Pearl or in, it's the same house in X. It looked like that.
It looked like a very creepy house. But also the door was open. So
I mean, on the inside. The outside didn't look like that. But yeah.
The outside looked pretty normal, actually. Yeah. But the inside, Honey like opens the door because it's left open and there's a parrot. And she's like, what the fuck? Like,
so cute.
And the parrot is cute, but she's also like, what the fuck? This is her house? Like, okay, kind of weird. So she like starts looking around and she looks at the yearbook, which I don't know why that's her first thing to go for, but she is like, MG. I'm so sorry if I keep saying MJ. I'm trying to make a conscious note to say an MG, but MJ wants to come out so bad. So she is like looking at the yearbook and she sees MG's like little senior quote. And she's just like, okay, that's weird. And then all of a sudden MG comes in like a tank top and she looks kind of like dirty or like pajamas kind of. But then she's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, like the door was open. And she's like,
the door was open.
She's like, the door was open. So I came in and, you know, I like, obviously Honey's a little freaked out because the vibes are weird. Something's off. And MG's like acting weird as well. And Honey's like, well, Corinne's missing. Like, I thought, you know, you might be able to help or whatever. Like this is your house, cool. And MG's very weirdly like ashamed of it kind of because she's like, I seen the way you had that look on your face, like my house isn't good enough for you or you're judging me. And Honey's like, hold on, I never said any of that.
Yeah,
like,
she seemed like she was projecting a lot of her own insecurities about her house because I was like, what the fuck? She literally didn't I don't even say think anything. That she was acting weird. Like she didn't look like she was like, ew, look at this old house. Like, I didn't think she looked like that. So
no, literally.
She obviously has issues.
She does because Honey was just surprised that MG was there, but also that, I mean, MG should have been a little more surprised at Honey being in her house. Because, you know, I mean, they've only had sex. They're not in a relationship. Yeah. So anyways, MG starts going on this rant about, like, people judging her. And Honey's like, I swear I'm not judging you. And Honey notices 2 cups and a kettle, and she's like, sees the green lipstick on one of the cups, and she's like, oh my God, that's Corinne's lipstick, because throughout the film, Corinne is wearing green lipstick. And so MG obviously notices this, and they start fighting, and MG starts going on her little like rant saying that like, my dad didn't die overseas, I killed him right where you're standing, and you're gonna be next. And Honey's just like, oh fuck. And so they start fighting. Honey wins. She kills MG. And then she also did get stabbed. So she's like kind of bleeding out. And the next thing she wakes up and she sees Heidi and she sees Corinne. She saved the day. She's just like, oh my God, thank goodness. Like I got here in time. So MG was the killer. Yeah. She was responsible for what was going to be Corinne's, you know, eventual death because she goes after women like that. She was responsible for Mia's death and 2 other sex workers because she just hates women that are victims.
Yes, was something like women that are victims are allowing themselves to be victims and they're putting themselves in the situation to be victimized.
Which is what she thought Corinne was doing because Corinne didn't want to report.
And she felt like she was better because her dad like was abusive, but then she killed him.
Yeah,
so
and
she's
she
like
rose
other
up
women
from
that don't do what she did, she's gonna kill them instead.
Yeah,
it's weird because she should, if she was like less mentally ill, would have made more sense if she became more like a Dexter and killed the bad people that were victimizing the women. But instead she was like, ugh, these women.
She's like, kill these fucking women. Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of hinting at that like toxic masculinity that exists in the lesbian community that we've kind of spoken on before. So I feel like they were kind of trying to put that out there. But the thing that it doesn't work because this movie, and I've seen other people say this too, this movie seems like a movie for straight people about queer people.
Yeah.
And if you're making a movie for straight people, then I don't think getting into the weeds about little issues within specific subsects of the queer community is the best idea, because I feel like straight people, They don't know all of that. And they just are like, okay, so lesbians are bad. They murder people. Like what? I'm like, don't do that.
She's like, this lesbian is masculine and therefore a bad person.
Yeah, so I'm
like, she will be the murderer.
Yes, so I'm like, oh no, this is gonna go straight right over straight people's heads that have straight people that have like no like connection to the queer community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I had to point that out.
No, but it's true though. That's why I was upset at MG being the killer, because I was like, I thought maybe her and Honey would end up together if she wasn't, you know, the murderer and trying to kill her niece.
Yeah,
but meanwhile, before all of that, Drew has sex with the French lady that we now know he's doing business with the French and selling their drugs. Yeah, they have sex. And then she kills Drew because she's like, this partnership is over. There's too many deaths surrounding you and we can't have that.
So I should kill you.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to kill you after I have sex with you. And then
like Black Widow?
Yeah.
Praying Mantis?
Oh, the Praying Mantis.
Do both of those do that?
I want to say the Praying Mantis
is it only
does.
Praying Mantis
And then the Black Widow. We are being fact checked. Yes.
Cool.
So I thought that was kind of like a little in between thing. And even though he wasn't responsible for any of the deaths, he was just like a shitty person. Yeah. He was not responsible except for Hector and the grandma.
Yeah, so
that was, but he wasn't responsible at least for Mia and you know what Honey thought. Mm-hmm. And so, Honey recovers. Marty, Charlie Day, the detective, still asks her out, and she's just like, "Oh my God, no." Like, please. And he's just like, oh, okay, all right. And then Honey's in her car and up comes the like French woman on her little moped and they look at each other and Honey's basically like, oh my God, like what's your name? Like, where are you going? She's like, the airport. And Honey's like, well, what time is your flight? And the French lady's like, I want to say her name is Cher. Yeah, but like Cherie or something, Cher. I don't remember. And so she
was not relevant to me, apparently.
She wasn't. She's just a French lady.
Yeah.
And so basically they're flirting and Honey's just like, yeah, I'm over my partner.
Murderer.
Yeah, try to. And that's how the film ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see now doing that recap how the plot doesn't really make sense or it's like all over the place.
Yeah, I felt like that's why we kind of talked about this, like which one we hated least or which one we hated more. Yeah. And I said I hate Honey Don't more than I hate Drive Away Dolls, which is crazy because when I first saw Drive Away Dolls, I was like, I fucking hate this movie. And then the second time I watched it, and then I watched this after, I was like, oh no, I really hate Honey Don't. But I think it was like, because they threw the whole like drug thing was like a red herring type of thing. Like it was just to make you think it was that, but it wasn't. Yeah. But I kept getting like kind of like, I don't know. I was like confused and I don't know.
It was like, it was pretty relevant. Surprisingly, I disliked Drive Away Dolls more than Honey Don't.
Yeah.
That's just, you know.
I did think that Margaret Qualley's character was a lot less annoying in Honey Don't than her character in Drive Away Dolls.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that kind of leads us to Munch, Merge, Murder. So... And I'll answer this one first this time because I keep putting you on the spot. Okay. So we didn't even mention one of the characters. But I'll talk about it a little. So the options are Honey, MG, and Spider. Spider is the like assistant to Honey. Yeah. Like she works at the place and she has like a little mullet. Like
it's like a little mullet. Yeah.
And so I will. Okay. I feel like I should have put the French lady in here, but I forgot about her.
It's okay.
I would probably merge with Honey because her character was not that annoying. She was fine. And then I would munch Spider and I would murder MG because she's evil. She's killing women.
Yeah. There's just no excuse for that. There's nothing redeemable about that. I feel like I'm sort of the same way. I think I would murder MG. I would merge with Honey and then munch Spider. Yeah.
Yeah. Samesies. What would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5 cherries?
I want to say 1 out of 5.
Yeah. I said that too. Yeah. Sorry if some people are really big fans or something.
Yeah.
I did something that I thought was funny that I feel like we need to note is that the time period that this was set was so confusing to me, but I think it was like just making fun of Bakersfield the whole time because, well, first of all, it was so obviously not filmed in Bakersfield because it looked like the desert, like it was filmed in New Mexico, and that made sense because it looked like it, but I was like, oh, maybe that's part of like it being a B movie. Like they were like, haha, it's obviously not where it's supposed to be. I don't know. But then also everybody's fashion was so
all over the place.
Yeah,
it was everywhere.
I thought it was also the 90s because of like
that's what I thought.
Yes, because some of the clothes that that Honey would wear were kind of like they were like something I would thrift and would be like, this is cute, but I wouldn't. I don't know. She didn't strike me as necessarily like a thrift queen. But
she doesn't go thrifting on her downtime.
I don't know. And then, but Spider had like kind of like a weird mullet. So I was like, okay, so it's like the 90s. But yeah, so we found out that it was in present day because
and we are being fact checked.
Oh.
It is takes place current day and was filmed in New Mexico.
Yeah, so obviously not Bakersfield. If anyone's been to Bakersfield, you know it does not look like New Mexico. I've never been to New Mexico, but
I have, and it doesn't.
It doesn't look like. I'm like, I don't know. It was weird, but yeah, I literally was Googling the whole time, trying to figure out what the setting was, and it just kept telling me it's set in Bakersfield, and I was like, I need to know the time, like what time period.
But
then the yearbook was from 2005.
Oh, you're talking about the yearbook? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, so I did not pay attention to the yearbook.
Did you see the?
No, I did see. Well, I didn't pay attention to the like year of it, but Billy Eichner was wiping down the seat, and he's like, COVID's still around, you know. So I'm like, it must take place after.
Okay, I didn't notice that, but at some point there was a card with a MAGA sticker.
Ew, so I was like, I didn't notice that either.
I think it was in like the where the guy parked the trailer, the bad guy, not the one of the beater, the
Corinne's boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the cars had a MAGA sticker on it, so I was like, "Oh, this is like present day ish." And then I saw that her yearbook was from 2005, so I was like, "Oh, okay, so they're supposed to be like in their 30s." So
and I did like her Honey, after she beats up Corinne's boyfriend, she sticks a little like magnetic bumper sticker that says, "I have a vagina and I vote."
I forgot. Okay, so I just felt like I needed to mention that because I don't know. It was just interesting the whole time. But if you are enjoying But I'm a Lesbian, please head over to our Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Lemonade, and follow to stay up to date on our newest episodes and hottest takes. We are also making a Discord, but we don't know that much about Discord yet, so it's not like fully up, but we made an account, girl. So it's gonna be a thing. Hopefully by the time this episode is out. We'll take a little break and we'll come back with our current obsessions.
Welcome back, and get ready for our next segment, Current Obsessions.
So fun.
What is your obsession?
Girl, I always have multiple. Okay, so I have two. So I'm trying not to make them always be like a food or a drink, but one of them is another drink.
Oh, okay.
I recently, I don't like boba. I like poppin' boba, but I don't like traditional boba because it's chewy. I don't like the texture. Okay. But I do like to go to like boba shops because I like to get like the milk teas, obviously with an alternative milk and with no boba in it. And my wife really loves boba. So anyway, so we went to this place that has like poke bowls. Ooh. And I don't eat fish, obviously, but I love poke bowls because you can get them with tofu. Yeah. And then you can get like jalapenos and pineapple and like all, rice and all of the delicious things. Anyway, but they also had boba there. And I was like, oh, cool. Because have you ever heard of like tiger milk boba or like tiger milk tea? Yeah. Whatever? Okay, have you ever had it?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so I had always heard of it and I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up and it said it's just like a brown sugar milk tea. And so I ordered that with oat milk because I love like brown sugar shaky espressos. It's like my go-to drink at Starbucks. And so I was like, okay. And then I got it and it was so disappointing. But I think the person made it wrong because it tasted like caramel and it tasted like coffee. Like I swear she made me like a caramel macchiato.
With boba?
No,
without the boba.
Because I said no boba. Yeah. Anyway, it was weird. And then my wife got a matcha thing. Mm-hmm. She's in her matcha era again. She goes through that every few years. So she got a matcha thing with boba, but she said the boba was like overcooked. And so anyway, I was like, this sucks because I have a feeling that I would really like this drink if it was made correctly.
Yeah.
So anyway, then we went to this new boba place like a week or two after that. And my wife got the most delicious drink and I got the most delicious drink, and now we're obsessed with both of these drinks, so we can't stop going to this freaking place. They have, like, the little stamp cards, so you get, like, a free drink after a while. We're going to fill it up so fast. So what she's been getting is, like, a banana matcha with oat milk and boba.
That sounds really good.
It's very good. It's, like, the perfect amount of sweetness. And what I got is I asked them what is in their tiger milk tea, and they were like, oh, it's like this non-dairy like creamer. I don't know what the brand is, but I looked and it doesn't have dairy in it, and brown sugar syrup, and oh my God, it's so fucking good. It tastes like Thai tea almost, and I love Thai tea.
Thai tea is so good.
So usually when I go to boba places, a lot of times they have a Thai tea. So I'll get like a Thai tea with coconut milk. But this tastes like a Thai tea, but like slightly different. It has like a little more of like a black tea flavor. I don't know. It's so good. I'm like addicted. So that's what it is. It's the tiger milk teas. My other obsession is, because I was trying to think of something that's not a food or a drink, is I've been rewatching Pen 15.
Oh my God. That show's so funny.
It's so funny. Okay, if anyone hasn't watched it, you should watch it. But I don't know if you said it was funny, the episodes you've seen.
Yeah, I'm starting it and I watched up to like 5 episodes. Okay. Yeah, and I liked it. I thought it was funny. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know if it hits the same or it hits as well if you're like older or younger than the like specific group, because they're supposed to be 13 in 2000 and I was 10 in 2000. So like I relate.
You were like,
like I related to so many of the things. So, and I just think they're so funny. Like, wait, did you see that? Wait, what were you going to ask?
I was going to say, I don't remember if I watched it in order or out of order. I don't know. But that one episode, spoiler, by the way, if you don't want to, where Maya is they're at the basement and she like takes a can of the like fucking,
beer?
No, not the beer. Oh my God, the whipped cream. She like sniffs the air. She like snorts it, whatever. And then she like passes out and she wakes up. Have you seen that part?
Yeah, but not since I've rewatched it. And that's what
that part just made me laugh because she was just like, whoa, it was so crazy, guys. Like they were all like, whoa, she's like so cool.
I just remember I was laughing. We could not stop laughing at, I don't know if you've seen the episode where like Maya discovers masturbation.
No, I haven't seen that episode.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. She can't stop. And like she's at school and she's like, Anna, I have to go to the bathroom. And she's like, oh, I'll come with you. And she's like, no, I have to do like I have to do a poop. And she's like, it's okay. And she's like, no, it's going to be really easy. It's because she wants to go masturbate in the bathroom and she doesn't want her friend to be in there. So anyway, at some point, like she's like about to like come and then like Anna walks in and is like, oh my God, Maya, blah, blah, blah happened. And she's like, oh, and she's like, whoa, it doesn't even smell like poop in here. Anyway, it's just so funny.
Oh my God.
It makes me laugh because it's like, at some point, I feel like everyone realized these things, right? Like, oh my God, why does it like feel good if I do this? And so it's just like funny. And also it reminds me of Chelsea Handler's book. One of her books, the only one I read or started to read, I think it was the first one she talked about when she went through like this masturbation phase when she was like a kid and she didn't know it was inappropriate to do it like in the living room.
Oh
and
my
God.
God.
Her like was like, Chelsea won't stop masturbating behind the couch. So anyway, it just makes me laugh. But Pen 15 is really funny. It has Anna what's her last name? Anna,
I
is
don't
it
remember her
Anna?
last name.
Okay, well, there's Maya Erskine, who is also
Anna
in
something. I forget. I don't know her last name.
Maya Erskine is in also the like show of Mr. and Mrs. Smith or whatever. She's Angelina Jolie or whatever, but in the show version.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then and Anna is like her like actual friend, and they made this show together. Whatever, I can't remember her last name, but
so funny.
It's so
I
funny.
need to watch the rest of it.
You need to watch it.
I do.
My probably favorite of all the episodes was this weird animated episode that they did. They did it during COVID because I think they weren't like allowed to like film, so they did this animated episode. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. It's like they go to Florida on a trip with the dad. Anyway. What are your
Anna Conkle? That's her last name.
Okay, I was like, because in the show it's Anna Cone, and I know it's kind of close, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that was pretty close though.
Yes.
Yes. Pen 15 is really funny, and everybody should watch it. And I will finish watching the rest of it.
Yes, it's so funny. Okay, tell me yours. Sorry, I just rambled about mine.
No, you're okay. For some reason, when you were talking about your obsession with the like tiger tea boba, I thought you were gonna say I hated boba, but now I'm obsessed with it. And I was like, oh wow, what a turnaround. But you were like, no, I still hate it.
No, I tried it. I tried it because I heard this thing about how your taste buds change like every 7 years or every something like that. And so I hadn't had boba since like a long time ago, probably like 2013. So I tried it like a month ago. I still don't like it.
Some things don't change.
Yeah.
And boba's one of those for you.
But you like boba, right?
I do like boba. Okay. I love boba. I like the popping one too. But I like the regular one. I love the regular one more. I don't know. There's just something about it.
I don't know. Wild loves it too.
It's so good. I'm like, maybe that should be mine. No, it's not. So my obsession is finding plants that my rabbits and my cat are not like they're not allergic to, or it's not toxic for them. And there's some crossover with like plants that they're allowed to like be around, and if they so happen to eat it, they're gonna be okay. But like if they eat it a lot, then they'll just get like diarrhea. They won't die.
Okay.
But there's others that are like they're more toxic for cats than rabbits. Like I was looking, and they're like all of these shouldn't be consumed, but if they do, it most likely will just lead to like gas and diarrhea problems. But leading to gas problems for rabbits can lead them into GI stasis, and that means they could die. So I wouldn't really want them to like, you know, get near it. And obviously I don't plan on having them all on the ground or anything. Yeah. But on the off chance, because my bunny, I told you, Sunny, can jump pretty high.
Yeah.
So he's it wouldn't be safe. And obviously we have cats around us, and I don't want any of them to die because that would be awful. So I've just been trying to research and see, and also see what lines up on Marketplace, because there's a lot of plants on Marketplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of
everything on Marketplace.
Literally everything. Like there's so many free ones, but then the ones that were free were just so happened to be the ones that were toxic. So I was like, I don't want to get that for them. So I've just been down a little rabbit hole. No,
I'm so glad that you're doing the research on it though, because I think a lot of people don't realize that so many plants are toxic to different animals.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many times where people think that they're being nice by like buying us flowers or like giving us a plant, and I have to be like, oh, thank you. And then we look it up and we're like, these can't be around cats. So we have to give it to someone else that doesn't have cats.
Yeah.
But I know that poinsettias, the like Christmas flowers, those are like really, really toxic.
They are really so toxic. Pretty, but it's these things you don't really like know. I guess you wouldn't take into consideration that like a plant could be toxic to a cat or a rabbit or any of your other animals. But yeah, like there've been a lot of deaths of cats. They're like, I didn't know that my cat couldn't like be around this or have this, you know?
Well, yes, because you know, another thing is like certain essential oils are like really, really toxic. And then I don't think we're in that era that much anymore, but like there was that like wax melt and like the diffuser era. I mean, I have some diffusers, but I made sure that the essential oils are not the ones that are really like, you know, toxic to cats.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all these little things you don't even
they're very sensitive to. Yeah.
But imagine if this was like the 80s because it's not as easily accessible to look those things up as it is now. You would just have to find out, or you'd have to like look at the library and like look through all of the encyclopedias and stuff.
Or even then, what if like they consumed it, but like they're like, oh, they died for a different reason or something. They wouldn't think that it like, you know, they chew on plants because cats in general, they have like those little things that you can buy at Petco and PetSmart, like the grass for them.
Oh, yeah.
So you would think like, okay, they can eat grass. The plants should be okay. The flowers are fine, you know, but sadly it's not. Yeah. So there are a lot that rabbits can have that cats cannot, that like will literally kill them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So it's just about finding, you know, an in-between thing for them.
Well, if anyone is listening and loves plants but also has animals, please look it up.
Do your research.
Up which ones your cats or your dogs or your bunnies or your hamsters or whatever
literally
can be
animal.
around. Oh my gosh, I saw guinea pigs today at PetSmart because I took my dog to go to training. I feel like bad because I don't want to like buy them, you know.
That's what I was telling you about the chinchillas.
But it's like also sad because their life is sad there. And anyway, we can't have like little animals like that because the cat.
Oh yeah, Sailor.
Sailor would probably be annoying, the dog. But I was thinking Atticus, the cat, might be like
really
also
interested.
Like trying to chase them. Anyway, any other obsessions?
Actually, yes. Yeah. Remember the tarantula that I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Yes. So I am trying to adopt a tarantula sometime in the next year. I want to have like the proper stuff, but it's really hard to find one in the area that we live in. So I joined Facebook groups to be like, you know, they do emergency rehoming and stuff, and they have like rescues, and it's not like you can find a tarantula in your backyard unless the pet got out and that's someone's pet. So it's hard because they do have them at PetSmart and Petco, but then again, they're not. I actually went there the other day too to get some chew sticks for Bun, and I saw them and they were in the wrong little like things and they looked so sad. And I was like, I would take all of you right now, but I'd have to, that would just, you know, make room for more of them, which sucks.
I know.
And there's nothing available right now. So I would just probably, because they can be shipped. Like there's so many sites.
Well, they do that with fish too. They like mail them to you. Which there's like, don't do that, you guys. I feel like it's really not safe for them.
That is
to
true.
Be coming in the mail. Oh,
a lot of the animals. No.
Don't do it.
No, I'm saying. Remember, I was telling you about like the online sites. Like, there's so many that you can buy them from, but it's not like, oh, you can adopt them and then we send them out. It's like they're breeders specifically for these tarantulas. And even though they're like, oh, it's going to be sent to you safely, there was a lot of videos where I was watching where they did buy from breeders and they opened them up and the tarantula was like in awful condition. It died.
It's so sad.
And it's really sad. So even though you're just like, oh yeah, I can just buy it for $30 online, your tarantula may or may not make it out.
And you potentially contributed to like it suffering on the way to you or whatever. I think it's cool that you want a tarantula. I don't know if you know this, I'm really scared of spiders, like terrified
I used to be very terrified of spiders too. I literally wouldn't even be able to sleep if I saw one near my like bed and it like crawled under somewhere. I would freak out. I'd be like, I can't do this. But I've gotten over that fear.
That's so cool. They are really cute. Like I've seen the close-ups of their like little paws, their little like fuzzy paws.
Okay.
And I try to not be scared of like spiders I see like in the house, but I am scared.
Some of them are scary looking, but that's what I was going to tell you. But I was saving I was like, I'm only obsessed with plants right now, guys. There's also jumping spiders, which they only have like a 2-year lifespan, but they can bond with you. They can learn to like recognize your voice, and they are very intelligent and they like being held, and they're so freaking cute. They're just small, and jumping spiders are everywhere. In some states they are endangered and they're protected, so you can't just like go to your backyard and be like, okay, it's a pet. And I don't agree with this because there were a lot of videos I was looking at where they're like, we recommend that you buy your jumping spider from a breeder so that you can know how old it is and like the health that it's in and stuff. But I'm like, regardless, either way, it's gonna, you know, it doesn't always mean that it's going to have like a safe journey over. But on the other hand, I'm not condoning that, but I'm just saying like that's what they recommended. But I was like, no.
Yeah.
On the other hand, tarantulas live to like 30 plus years.
What?
And they will never get used to handling, nor will they bond with you. But they're so cute still. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, see, we learned so many things because I don't know that much about them. But, something that I learned that is totally different, but I met someone that had 2 like big birds and I asked like, oh, how old are they? And they were like, oh, this one's 23 and this one's 32. I didn't know birds like that they have like the same lifespan as like a human. Like,
yeah, they
isn't that fucking crazy?
Long.
I was never like a bird person. So I guess I learned that at like 30.
And I was
like, what?
Birds, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I do think that parrots and stuff are really cool. Like in the movie.
Yeah, the parrot in MG's house.
Yeah. Okay, that was really cool. I feel like I learned so much. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is the end of this episode. We are But I'm a Lesbian podcast. We are your go-to for sapphic media reviews, WLW drama, and unfiltered queer takes. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe on every platform. Yes, all of them if you can, but at least one. Just choose one that you're on a lot and follow us there. Leave us a review to help support the queer community and keep this lesbian-led pod thriving.
Don't miss next week's episode because we will be heading back to the 90s with Fear Street 1994, the first of the trilogy, available on Netflix.
We're going lesbian Halloween vibes.
Yes. So we will be in costume.
Yes.
Just a heads up.
Yes. As long we are going to have special guests.
Ooh, yes.
So this episode is actually special guest is my wife that I talk about every week. So you're going to get to meet her.
And our creative director.
Yes. And video editor.
Yes.
Juanita Iriarte. And she's not that into dressing up for Halloween, but I'll try to get her to dress up a little. So.
That's okay. As long as you're dressed up,
yeah,
right?
I'll be dressed up in some way.
You'll be dressed up for the both of you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see you next Tuesday. Executive producers for But I'm a Lesbian are Katlynn Beatty and Angelina Herrera. Produced and mixed by Victoria Shiflett. Creative direction and video editing provided by Juanita Iriarte. Music by Stiletto Falsetto.